I started learning about this when I was in my early 20s. I'm 65 now. I started when my consciousness search when I was 18.
18.
18.
What made you start thinking? This is actually one of my questions. Is like, what was your introduction to all this?
How the heck did I get started, or why?
Yeah. What's your origin story?
I had
superhero?
so much unhappiness and abuse in my childhood, so very much, that I had to do something to repair my broken psyche. Broken is a little exaggerated, but not by much.
Yeah.
It was pretty unhappy. So I needed to learn some things to make myself happy, because I recognized that I was not going to be happy unless I caused myself to be happy. I remember when I was about 8 years old, I was hopscotching on the sidewalk. You know that game where you draw with chalk and skip around? I was hopscotching up and down my sidewalk, trying to decide if I wanted to become a cynical person and just sink down into anger and sorrow, which would be so easy, or if I wanted to do the hard work and make myself happy. And I remember I was almost aware, I was kind of aware from the outside, like, gosh, probably anybody looking at me would just notice me skipping up and down in my little dress on the hopscotch thing on the sidewalk. And here I am thinking about, I was sort of self-aware even at that young age, saying, it's really hard to be happy, but I'm going to figure out how. And so that was a pivotal moment at the age of 8.
8. And you're like, I'm going to figure this out.
I said, I'm not going to give in to cynicism and sorrow. Those were the two things that I was deciding between: cynicism and sorrow, or happiness. And I hopscotched for God knows how long, and I finally decided I would go for happy, even though it was hard.
It's almost it's almost like religious. It's almost a leap of faith, where it's like, that's there. I don't have it in me right now, but it's there, and I'm going to get it.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I suppose it set the stage for a spiritual thing. I did not trust religion. I'm trying to think how much I want to say. The church that my family had gone to was the source of a lot of my problems.
Yeah, okay.
And so, but
honestly, don't have to specify which one. There's 50 different ones that everyone can relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just decided I would find my way. And then when I was around 17 or 18, I started thinking about how I was going to go about making myself happy. And I started looking a little bit at religious, and I kind of went, ick, and it didn't happen. And then I was introduced to meditation. There was one of the gurus that came over from India. There were a bunch that were coming over in that approximate late 60s.
Late 60s, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so I learned about meditation, which gave me a way to quiet the thoughts. And so this is clue number 1 for anybody who wants to shift their consciousness. You cannot continue thinking what you think every day in loops and loops and loops and loops and expect to expand beyond it.
Yeah.
First, you have to stop the loops of whatever it is. Anybody might be, you might have 12 or 100 or 20 or whatever, different loops that you go through. But loops are loops, and you will not move beyond them unless you stop the loops first.
They say people who take the same route to work every day are more susceptible to, what's the disease you get?
Alzheimer's or something?
Alzheimer's, yeah.
To Alzheimer's.
And if you switch your routes, just go down different streets, you're way less susceptible to Alzheimer's.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Because you're not the groove that you were talking about. You're causing more grooves for your consciousness to go through.